Hello, folks. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is Tamir Qadree, the Dean of Dynamic Results. It's all about getting results. Everything is a result of something. Before we get started to today's topic, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and don't forget to check me out on TikTok and Instagram and get more great information coming at you on a daily basis. Today's topic, we're going to talk about your legacy. What is your legacy? What do you want your legacy to be? You ever thought about that? If you're like most people, and like I was before, you've never thought about that. A legacy? What? I'm not a famous athlete or famous person, famous entertainer or scientist or nobody notable. What do you mean legacy? Yes, you. A legacy is not just for the few. A legacy is what we leave behind, okay? What we want to leave. How do you want to be remembered? What mark you want to make on the world? Think about legacy. Start thinking legacy, okay? What mark you want to make? What imprint you want to put on this planet? What footprints you want to leave? What do you want to leave behind that others can benefit from and grow? So it ain't just about me. I learned that years ago. It's about me, yes, but it's about others. What part of me can I leave, what I bring? What flavor, what style, what seasoning, what grace can I leave on the planet to help others for generations to come? What legacy I want to leave? What do you want to leave? You ever thought about that? What's your legacy? What is your legacy? Is it diligence? Is it patience? Or is it both? Is it kindness and love and achievement? See, we live on an achievement planet. What do you want to achieve? What's going to be your legacy? What did you leave behind? It ain't got to be nothing famous. It ain't got to be known by most people. What are you going to leave behind that others can succeed off you and grow from you? See, we think you got to be celebrity. We think you got to be Picasso or Shakespeare or Michael Jordan or president or some great entertainer or some great scientist like Einstein in order to leave a legacy. No, legacy is what you leave behind. You putting your mark on the planet, your footprint on the planet, your fingerprint on the universal system and expand that print to expand the universe. Blow a hole through the universe, through the universe, and leave your legacy. And your legacy does not involve ego, does not involve me, but it involves me in a sense of what I can leave behind as a legacy. What do you want people to say about you? What do you want people to say at your funeral if you have one? What do you want your epitaph to be? What do you want on your tombstone if you have a tombstone? What do you want people to say about you? How do you want people to feel about you, your children, your friend, your mate, or whoever you are, wherever you are, or whatever part of the world you are? What do you want to leave behind? Think about legacy and write that down. I always say write something down because the pen is mightier than the sword and the ink of a scholar is holier than the blood of a martyr. Write that down. I believe that God taught man, God created, whatever you want to call it. It's not religion now. It's just God, creator, taught man the use of the pen. We have man mean mankind, not just masculine mean feminine too. The use of the pen. Write down your legacy. What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to leave behind? Think about that. Think about that. You don't have a legacy? You're behind. Think legacy. What are you going to leave behind? What do you want people to say? What footprint you going to leave? What fingerprint you going to leave? What smile you going to leave? What memory you want people to have of you? What do you want to leave? Now, you can control what people think, trust me, but you can control what you want to do, your legacy, what you want to leave. What do you want to leave? What legacy? Are you diligent, hardworking, a lover of people, a giver, a receiver? What do you want to leave behind? What do you want to do? What's your life goal and dream? What legacy you want to leave? My father, great man who left this earth over 14 years ago, I still love him. He's a great man. He left a legacy behind for me to follow. That legacy was that he took care of business. He's born in 1917. He had a rough life for a while. Went to the army and he wanted to play professional baseball. Okay, but he was afraid of how hard it was then with the climate, the racial climate then, how hard he'd have it on the road. Okay, not being able to stay in a certain hotel because of his color and all that and being treated differently. He didn't want to face that hardship. He told me this, okay? But he was a hardworking man. He took care of two families. One that he had just, marriage had dissolved or whatever, and then he took on my mom with our family. The man helped support over 17 children all his life. He worked hard. He never ran away from responsibility. We have two households he was supporting, the one he had broke up from and the new one he had. We were the newer one, okay? He left a legacy. The legacy he left behind for me, he was hardworking. He was sincere. He was a good man. One thing he did, he had faults like everybody else, but his legacy was he took care of his family. He was a real man. He was security for his family. He did whatever he could for his family, for his wife and children. Okay, that's what he did. That's his legacy. So legacy ain't got to be some celebrity. What do? He's known for being a hard worker. He's known for taking care of business. He's known for taking care of his children, doing the best he can by them till the day he died. He didn't run from responsibility. He left a legacy of perseverance and love and strength. That's a legacy. That's a legacy. What's your legacy? I learned from him. My legacy is more than that. I've gone way past that thanks to him for laying a blueprint for me. What's your legacy going to be? What are you going to leave behind? What are you going to leave behind for your children? Is it money? That's fine. Is it cars? That's fine. Is it an attitude, a way of mind? Is it an example of being magnanimous, being good to people, working towards your dream, living your dreams, living a prosperous life? That's a legacy too. What do you want to leave behind? So it ain't just about you. Make it more about your legacy. What am I going to leave behind? Who am I going to help? Who am I going to assist in this thing called life? Because life is a game. This is a game. And how you play that game makes sense. There's a great book by Florence Sheen called The Game of Life and How to Play It. Read that book.